Hey there everyone, my name is Bungie from the Guys of Games, back with some more Halo 2 on Legendary. And also I have a horrible neck pain because, usually I get my neck pains by sleeping wrong, but this time it was because I stretched wrong, which is just wonderful. At work, too, it's the best feeling. It's wild. I don't even know how. Like, I just stretched in a weird way, and now my neck's going to be hurt in the next 3 days. But, anyways. So we're on the Great Journey, last level, same old, same old. Great Journey, I mean, I shouldn't even really need to say this, but Great Journey is probably one of the more noticeable differences on Legendary, because right off the bat, Mr. Socrates here doesn't get out of his Wraith on Legendary because, he's not told to. And his Wraith is also made undrivable by the player. So the funny thing is, it's pretty rare because the Wraith's such a heavy ass motherfucker in this game. But if this guy flips the Wraith, he will not get back in it. Well, actually, no, that's not true. If you like flip it yourself, he will get back in it, but you cannot drive it, and nothing will change. They actually put a lot of work just into like this little opening thing because there's like a bunch of different scenarios. Like you get into the Wraith. He'll get into the Spectre and the Spectre will wait for him. You get in the Spectre, he'll get back in the Wraith. If you walk away, he'll just get into the Wraith. A lot of detail in that. There's also this door over here that, at the end of the start of this level is the end of the last level. And I've done a video where you can actually get in this door if you... I'm not sure, it probably is possible to do it yourself by just piling a bunch of vehicles against it, but it's actually really easy to do it by just using this guy here because I'm not sure how it works, but when you get out of a vehicle, right, it always tries to put you like relatively close to where, like, there's like a destination or whatever. I don't know what you'd call it, but it'll try to put you in a certain spot that makes sense. Like obviously it lines up generally where the animation ends, and obviously, if that animation puts you through a wall, I'm not sure exactly how this works because I don't know. We don't have source code for Halo. We have the tools and stuff, but that's still a long ways away from doing crazy ass like new physics and stuff for everything. But I digress. It'll like try to put you in the wall, but the games kind of have they try not to put you they try not to let you phase through walls by doing that. It's like even if you the animation puts you in the closest spot technically would be on the other side of a wall, for example, it generally will avoid doing that unless unless you're super far in. Then it actually will. It's a little funky, and I know it's funky because it's less funky for AI, because you can very easily get this guy to. In fact, I will do it because why the hell not? It's actually quite easy to back it up in such a way that he gets out into the wall. Now I say that, and I'm sure now that I've said that, I'm going to fail it every single time, but as long as you plant this against the wall, and basically do this, yeah, hey, what do you know? You can get inside here. Imagine that. You can see, this is basically what the previous area looked like. It's just, there's no light in here, and eventually it just ends. And these bolts don't actually let off light. I think in Halo 3 onward they actually do make it so projectiles give off light. In this game it's just you just have a little muzzle flash, which you can kind of tell. The plasma pistol is really faint, but the plasma rifle is a little more strong. There's a light even for charging it, but it has to be pretty close to actually see it, which is kind of funny. But I digress. Let's revert and watch this guy drive up. I always love this guy. This guy's such a pro. He just swoops in hey, I got a Spectre. There's a couple ways to do this. Obviously, this part's way harder on Legendary just because you can't get in the Wraith. Because you basically, when you get to the point where you're fighting the other Wraith here, you kind of just have to wait for Half-Jaw to nail it. He's invincible, so it's not that bad. As long as you, if you're scared about this part, just, take your time. Ram these guys if they get close to you. These guys also, yeah, as you can see, it's kind of a fun thing, little detail, is that these brutes have regular plasma rifles, because I think it's just the default weapon 0, because it generally doesn't matter what they have, obviously. In fact, I would say the much more important thing is that they have grenades, so if they flip, they might actually just start chucking nades at you, which is In some cases, might actually be deadlier than them shooting with a ghost if they're lucky enough. And of course, they're smart enough to flip their vehicles, so you can see he tried to get back in. Then he decided to throw a grenade, and then Half-Jaw blasted him to the, darkness of eternity. Woohoo! Hell yeah. Fun fact, I believe that there is an unused Phantom that's supposed to spawn in this area, or at least there's a script for it. I'm not sure if the encounter exists. I did like a quick one-over the level script for this just because like I felt like it. I don't know. Oh, and you also want to be careful about Half-Jaw shooting you. I mean, to be fair, that was mostly he shot, and then I boosted way into where he was shooting, but you know. Like, this is the one part that's like a little scary, because you kind of have to hope Half-Jaw does his job here. And sometimes if you're unlucky, he'll just keep missing. But the nice thing is that since you're only carrying around the one dude, and it's a lot less this is a long call from Quarantine Zone, that's for sure. Using a Spectre in that level is like a death sentence on Legendary, but here it's like, it's not even that bad. The Wraith is the only scary part, and also, don't flip, you dipshit. What are you doing? I just said it, oh, you almost never flip, and then he, like, look at him ramming up that wall. But, yeah. It's not even a bad... You can even just shoot it down with a Spectre. It's just it doesn't do that much damage. But I mean, if Half-Jaw hits the Wraith like once or twice, that'll do a lot of damage in and of itself. Just, if that guy hits you, you're pretty much guaranteed to die. Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't directly hit you, you usually live from full. And our Spec Ops dude there, yeah, there you go. That's bad. That wasn't too bad. I said like it's a little scary, but it's like really not. It's more just like if you can waste time. Which, like, I mean, it's for speedrunners, I guess it's terrible, but like the speedrunners aren't really waiting for this part anyways. Because this level is kind of funny. You wouldn't think it, but this level is weirdly like broken in a lot of areas. Like, there's a lot of bizarre tricks you can do that like are kind of a result of the way the scripting engine is handled. Or I should say the way the scripting engine, like just the level of script was made, I should say. A lot of ways you can like do garbage collection to like hard delete enemies way before you would expect to. The level also kind of like has like a lot of like these repeat spawns that actually kind of works like where like I mean, you should know how it works by now if you've watched any of my videos, but basically the enemies will spawn a bunch if you don't push. And obviously they never spawn infinitely. In fact, a lot of them are pretty limited. It's usually like 2 or 3, but it's definitely like, it's not even a terrible strategy to just like quickly boost through here and then kind of come back, because I think I think some of them will actually specifically check if you're in the area when you kill them, and then some of them I think are just based on like progression, so it depends. This level is kind of like secretly like a heavy vehicle level, although like you get this like mid... Well, I mean that's not true. It's actually a pretty good mix of vehicle and infantry sections, but this is a fun level, I will say. This is one of the funnier levels in this game for what it is. Even if it is actually like kind of like... It's actually probably one of the easier levels in this game, like thinking about it. You get this cool little encounter where like a bandit comes in. Like, I think there's supposed to be a second one here too. There's like an unused one. I should say that not that there should be, but I think there's a second one unused. I don't quote me on that one though, because I didn't check any of the actual encounters. Like, mind you, I have worked on pretty much all the levels in this game, but like a long time ago, because I started working on my Halo 2 mod back when the tag tools were not a thing. Back when, if I wanted to edit stuff, you had to meticulously edit everything one by one. Like, if I wanted to edit a plasma rifle to have a faster rate of fire, I had to edit the plasma rifle for every single level in the game. And that's kind of what Halo modding was if you wanted to do full campaign mods, so... It's very nice having the tools. Anyways, here's a part with 2 raids. And this is a part where there's a big trick you can do, because the door won't open until the 2 wraith... I think specifically the dudes driving the raids are dead, so if they get out, you still have to kill the drivers. But there's like a trick where if you like boost to like the left end of the left there, and then go all the way back, and then go all the way forward again, the garbage collection like kills them, or like it deletes them basically. But I think that might not even work on MCC. because Halo 2 Xbox's garbage collection is much more intense because, you know, it was the original Xbox, so RAM was a much bigger deal. This is mostly the same thing. You just kind of have to wait for Half-Draw to kill the raids. You can obviously help out. And, like, there's these Brute Shot guys, but, the Brute Shot guys aren't really much of a threat. Like, the scariest thing with the Brute Shot guys is if they flip you, basically. Because you can see, like, a direct hit doesn't even do very much damage. In fact, a direct hit that doesn't hit me doesn't even do damage. It hit the turret guy, so he got hurt, and I'm okay. Oh! Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, wait. Is this guy gonna chuck a nade? Okay, well, he did chuck a nade, obviously, because the grenade came from him. We just... Woo! That dude is dead. Wow. That is kind of unfortunate, because now it means I kind of have to do something. So... I only have a plasma rifle and a plasma pistol. Your weapons are terrible at this part for killing brutes. Like, there's no way I'm going to kill a brute with these guns. I think the brute's like stuck or something. There you go. That's good. I don't know what happened there, but he was stuck for sure. That was weird. What? They opened the door and triggered his dialogue early. That's hilarious. So there's supposed to be like a little scene here where it's like, you see like the two hunters and, you know, basically like a Spec Ops dude dual-wielding needlers, who's kind of notable for being one of the very few times that actually happens, outside of like the one dude in quarantine zone. But the brutes were pretty gung-ho about hanging out in the back, and they actually opened the door for me, which is kind of hilarious. Is there... What brute shots? I think that already got collected. They all died, so their brute shots gone. Oh, no. There's one. Hooey. That's pretty funny. I don't think that's ever happened to me before. I've seen it happen to some people, but like it's actually pretty rare, because usually they don't quite hang out close enough to get to the door, but they probably got shoved in by the bullet, by Half-Draw shooting them. Mr. Fancy Socks with his thigh highs, I don't know. So yeah, you get hunters here, and oh! Yeah. So during this initial barrage, you can see as they just kind of get... Look at all the blood they're triggering. The hunters are actually invincible right now. So you can wait for them to clear this out just fine. They will never die until the first wave of brutes here is dead. Which is nice, because they kind of need it, because like, holy shit. Hunters kind of get eaten alive by brutes. And yeah, it was sad times back when dual wielding was completely busted, and our friendly dual wielding needler guy here only had one needler and was basically useless. Let's watch them shove this box. They didn't punch it, they just pushed it. Slightly more boring, but I get it. That is kind of a cool little tiny thing about Halo, is that like the pathfinding of enemies is based on like how heavy they are. It's like hunters can just shove that crate out of the way, but like if it was a grunt, he would either have to climb it or he would just get stuck because he can't push it. So I should be careful here because I know there's a Jackal sniper. I used my camo a little early there because I was gonna, because like the nice thing about having, you know, allies is that Jackal snipers will shoot them instead of me. This Jackal sniper is a bit of an asshole because like it's basically part of like this next wave, and you kind of have to walk over here to get them to actually do shit. And my buddy's shooting me in the back, you jackass. Anyways, there we go. We got the extra sniper. There we go, he's dead. I forgot there's a second one. Holy shit. I can't help him because that is unfortunate. I couldn't really help him. But, oh! So look at this sniper, like, freaking the hell out when there's nothing happening. He was gonna die and, like, snake me out without knowing I existed. Ow. I'm at least glad we have somebody alive. I didn't realize the first hunter died. I'm gonna assume he got wrecked by brutes. Because despite the fact that they kind of get one-shot by jackal snipers, that actually doesn't tend to happen to them. Because their armor blocks it so well. Oops. Well, that figures. Fun fact, I'm sure most people actually know this, but the hunters that spawn in the jail section later on don't spawn in if you have your hunters are still alive, the first pair is still alive. Because I guess they didn't want to give you 4 hunters to work with, which, you know, that is kind of fair. I mean, they would only do something for like one part, but like, whatever, I guess. There we go. Clean you guys all out. There we go. And now over on the other side of the room, there's going to be a bunch of drones. These drones spawn in as you kill more jackals. Like, I think they even spawn in like one at a time. And so if you rush through here and don't kill anyone, there will be no drones in there. There's also another jackal there, which is kind of surprising. I guess that's pretty rare. One of them must have run away because they don't spawn over there. You know, there's no jackal reinforcement, so it must have just been kind of funny. You can kind of see them, yeah, doing that. Kind of shoot them through like the tiny little holes in the fancy little archway there. Anyways, I'm doing it like this because once you get to like a little bit into the room, Phantom shows up, and the Phantom's kind of a pain in the ass because, you know, there's not really much you can do about it. Although I can technically, you can take advantage of the fact that they aren't moving by doing this. Shoot out their little power cores. Not that that does anything, but hey, you can do it. I forget what actually gets this Phantom to leave. I think you just kind of have to like. I forget if it's based on how much damage it's taken from you shooting it, or if it's just like some time thing, or if it's just like, because like I'm just gonna shoot at it with plasma pistols, and it'll probably, I'm sure the guns will die eventually. Like, I'm kind of curious about this. I forget how much damage a plasma pistol does. It probably does piss damage, but like, it does eventually leave. That's not usually important, but like if you come here, like go through here too quick, the Phantom will actually be there when you're like going through the flying section, because, you know, spoilers, I don't know, like I always say this, but like there's no reason you should be watching if you haven't seen Halo 2 before, because half of what I say will just completely not mean anything. But, you know, the Phantom will still be there when you're in the Banshee section, and once again, that doesn't really matter because it's way out of the way, but, you know, it's there. So here's a fun part. Everyone remembers this part, the jail cell. Hey! So you get 2 pairs of hunters, or I should say 2 hunters, and you get 2 counselors. This is the only time counselors show up in this game, is in this level. And they're for all intents and purposes, counselors are just ultras, but they're cool-looking ultras, so you know that's a big deal. So they have wicked strong shields and 5-second shield recharge, so they're pretty strong. Like, as long as they aren't getting pelted constantly, they'll stay alive for an eternity. Like, you can say, like, they just mop up the brutes. Kind of impressive, really. This part's pretty cool, too, because it's like this jail section. You have these different jail cells, and the hunter and, like, both the hunters and the counselors will actually, like, free their buddies after the fight if you haven't freed them yet. And, like, they even, like, Bungie even went to the, you know, I mean, should I even praise this, or is this just like a duh thing? But if the counselors are berserked and have a sword out, they're specifically, like, not told to try to help free them because they can't stab the generators. Which, like, yeah, that makes sense, and, like, it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things that's like, I don't know if I should be impressed or if it's more just like a, well, duh. You know what I mean? Wonder how many people have actually, like, never heard that whole chain of dialogue, because it's pretty easy to just quickly run in there and just kill them. You even get to, you know, they're dead now, but oh yeah, that's what I get for not paying attention for just a split second. That's why it's better to be aggressive. You get two sergeants here. They have plasma pistols, but they're good distractions. And if you wait, your buddies will obviously come help you out. I'm just gonna skip this. You can watch Johnson get into the scarab, and he'll actually run all the way to, like, the hangar where the drivers usually would be. He doesn't actually drive it. Like, he doesn't driving it right now. There's nothing in there. It's just purely scripted. But that's, you know, it's a fun little detail. The sergeants actually get deleted after the cutscene, so who knows where they went. I guess the assumption would be that they're in the scarab with him, but who knows? I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, once these guys berserk, like, any berserking enemy no longer flinches. So no matter what I shoot him with, he just sits there. So sniping this guy is technically a lot harder in that sense. And hey, look, you get random allies here. These are, like, the only times you get allies that are just like sometimes they're minor, sometimes they're major. And if you're on legendary, they're more likely to be, you know, they might be an ultra or something. There's another break you can do here where if instead of getting into a banshee, you enter the previous area and come back. The dudes driving these wraiths will just be dead. And you'll know because Johnson will say, "Ha, how do you like it?" And like, "Hey, look, shield." I think I mentioned this in my Scarab video, actually, but fun fact. So there's a variant of the Scarab that has a shield door. I actually have never spawned it in games. I'm actually not even sure if it actually does have the shield door. But there's a variant called that. However, this Scarab we're in is not that variant. Instead, they actually just manually spawn in a shield door and just place it at the same spot that it would otherwise be. They attach it to the same, like nodes, whatever it's called. So it's functionally the same thing, but it isn't actually the same thing for some reason. I'm not sure why. I forget if they fixed that glitch, by the way. I made my whole freaking video about how the Scarab sounds are broken, and I'm not even sure. I forget if they actually fixed it or not. Because I think there might have been an update where they did. Also, what? Wait a minute. Oh no, I thought that was Half Jaw for a second. No, that's one of the dudes that gets out of the Banshee, because there's a one on the floor. And hey, look, it's a white guy. I told you. I'm a genius. Anyways, we're gonna revert. That's actually hilarious that he showed up. Freaking called it. Take my Banshee Arbiter. Because yeah, there'll be two up here and there's one guy that drops down here. Just to make sure if you fall down like an idiot, you're not totally boned. And like, yeah, if you hang back, Johnson will keep shooting at these guys with the Scarab, and he will eventually actually hit them because, you know, he is kind of trying to shoot them. It's a little weird because I think he's just shooting at predetermined points. But he chooses a predetermined point that's like close to one of them as possible. So if they're in the right spot, they will die. But it's purely just random. That was weird. That might have been because I think he like specifically... It's not that he wants you to not be in front of him, but that he just doesn't want you to be in his line of sight, basically. So if you're like... Or I think there's actually just a specific trigger volume here that as long as you're not in. So if you go farther, if I fly over here, Johnson will start shooting at him. Like that. And yeah, this part is probably the hardest part on Legendary of this level, because it's kind of a bitch. Because you're basically fighting a bunch of Banshees, and like most of the time, if you shoot them one-on-one, you're gonna die. Because brutes are tanky. They're more tenacious than the heretics, I'll say. I'm not sure if that's because of the area, or if it's something like set up with this level, but I think it's mostly just because the area is just less open. Like with the heretics, you can go pretty far out. You can just fly super far away from them, and you got like this whole airspace. But here, it's like you're kind of limited to just up and down. Because if I try to go up, right, you get blocked. You can't fly over the cliffs. You're not allowed to. You can actually get close enough that if you have a guy riding on you, you can push him up there. Hey, look, enemy specters. It's like one of the few times they show up. And you get to shoot at them with a vehicle this time. That's fun. And just like in Halo 3, the turret guy dies last, and he almost killed me. See what I mean? Also, you should be careful about Johnson, because he obviously, you know, the scarab's pretty fucking big, so it's easy to get shoved off him. And if he hits you in the right way, he can just crush you, whether by his feet or just by the way that it's moving around, right? Because it's, you know, it's like being crushed by like a girder or something, right, like that. You know what I mean? I should back off. Remember, I have regenerating shields, and brutes have pretty much limited health. It's like the one advantage to fighting brutes is that they do have health regen, but it's very small. Like, and when I say small, I mean like in the aspect that they only regen up to like I think 12% of their max health. Also, is this guy always here? Is this guy on Legendary only or something? I don't remember there being just a guy here with a brute shot. Did he walk over here? Did he? Because you know, he might have actually just... Oh, I'm dead. This is your best strategy for avoiding getting killed by a Banshee. Drive the fuck away. Like, look at that. Because they just kind of fly towards you. And they have enough health that you can't... You tend to not really be able to just pump them dead, if you get what I mean. Like, in a one-on-one dogfight, you'll lose basically every time. But, I think this guy actually got out. He must have seen me and then got out. Because I drove over there and then drove away. Which is kind of wild. That's a really cool, like, stupid interaction. Because a lot of the times, like, they have to specifically tell turret guys to stay in. Otherwise, they will, in fact, just get out if they see you and you run away. Because they want to, you know, find you. And I'm guessing these guys are, like, set up in such a way that, like, they'll stay there as long as they don't see me. As soon as they see me, though, they're inclined to get out and try to find me. Also, I waited long enough that Johnson has just... Yeah, gone to the next area. Also, that glitch is still not fixed, so... You know, there you go. I shouldn't even call it a glitch. It's just a bug / oversight. Where the sound plays when it, like... when it opens up. I'm trying to think. This area can be a little annoying if you're aggressive, because Banshees just kind of keep spawning from here. Since I was talking about shit, though, I wasn't being aggressive, because this is an auto-scroller. Like, speedrunners literally just fly to the end and just sit there and wait, because nothing stops the scarab other than the initial raids. And also, fun fact, I mean, I'm sure most people know about this, but if you do a very specific setup that of, like, actions throughout this level, there will be a Heretic Banshee over here. And even more of a fun fact is that it's technically spawned in like the other Banshees. Except that it basically spawns in and then the elite guy is deleted. For some reason that's how they did it, because I guess it's probably just easier like that. So it like spawns in with an elite driving it and then he's just deleted instantly so you can't actually see it, even if you're sitting there watching the Banshee spawn. But yeah, there'll be a Heretic Banshee like right around here, which is kind of a cool thing. It's like an Easter egg. You have to do like a... I don't even remember what the setup is. I think it's like you have to like not drive certain vehicles and like walk through a certain part. They did fix this. They did fix this eventually. In Vista, for some reason, I'm guessing it's because the spawn coordinates of everything is a little off in Vista because of like weird rounding shit and whatnot. So the rates here spawn slightly. One of the rates spawns slightly in the ground in Vista and old MCC. Also, I'm probably dead here because I can't get away. Oh, see, that's the best strategy is just fly away and hope they don't shoot you. You can barely even see this. You can also very obviously hear that, whatchamacallit, that he's not making the scarab shooting sounds because it's still not fixed. I'm actually shocked they've never fixed that, because, like, that's like, I don't know why that behavior exists. Because even Vista doesn't have it. It's different, like I showed in my video, it's different in every version of the game. Like, why is it different in MCC? I ain't got a clue, but it is. Riddle me that. And, yeah, if you wait long enough, hey, look, a phantom shows up. It actually shows up with a wraith, too. I bet you a lot of people don't even know about this, because this will only happen if you sit down and wait. I have no idea why there's an extra phantom spawn here, but it's kind of cool, I guess. It's just like, it's just an extra thing that shows up if you lollygag around, but it's like a one-off thing. He's the only one. Not sure why. He tends to just do this at first, too, where he just flies away, and then... Or he drives away, I should say, and then I kill him before he can do anything. Also, once again, just to make sure you don't get stuck. Oh shit, more Banshees. Okay. Well, there's this guy here, and every time you destroy that Banshee, it'll spawn another one. Actually, I think, specifically, this Banshee's indestructible, actually. And I think even if you were to destroy it, it, like, gets auto-deleted or something. Or, like, it, like, respawns it eventually anyways. Screw you, dude. Can I show off this indestructible Banshee? That guy's dead, unfortunately. Anyways, I'm going to quickly drive it over, let's say, somewhere where I'm not going to get, like, killed. Let's bring it over here, because there'll be some extra guns over here. By the way, obviously, if you don't know, Black Eye Skulls, is it at the top? Or is it near the top? I forget how much crap you have to do back there. But the Black Eye Skull's over there. And there's like the I Love Meg Easter egg that's in, I think, every Halo game. In some form or another. Anyways. Yeah, so I will do this. It is indestructible in the sense that it will never die. However, it can still be heavily damaged to the point where it is at 1 HP, but even at technically at 0 HP, but it will never die because it is tagged to be indestructible, which means that the game does not give two shits how much you shoot it. I'll throw a grenade at it just to show off. Still not destroyed. Let's throw one more for good measure. Still not destroyed. Hey, look at that. Beat up to hell. And of course, you know, I'm sure everybody, basically everyone who's ever played this game knows about the trick where the loading zone for the Tartarus cutscene is gigantic and already loaded in for some reason. It doesn't load in with the BSP that's in here, but for some reason it loads in just at all times. So you can skip this whole next little area that I'm about to do. And it's kind of a shame because this is actually one of the cooler encounters in the game. Because it's like, you can stand up here and just shoot these guys. And some of them automatically berserk, which is, like, this is one of the few times that happens. And, like, the only time I think it happens specifically to try to kill you. But you have, like, this whole little underground section you can, like, kind of hang out in, which is kind of cool. Oh, shit! There was a guy behind me? I didn't see him! There's also a shotgun guy who will blast your ass if you're not careful. I'm going to try to not let him blast my ass if I can help it. Where is he?
Do not let the Arbiter into the chamber. The chieftain must complete his holy work.
The door is fucking where? How did I walk out of here and then walk back and I can't walk into the door? Am I a dipshit? It's lined up with this thing perfectly.
Not let them enter the chamber. The chieftain must complete his holy work.
Wow. Nice dodge, dude. He dodged it and then let his buddy take the hit. Anyways, what they kind of want you to do is, they will actually drop down here to find me, but like what you pretty much want to do is, kind of do this. Just like kind of go back and forth. There's the guy with the shotgun who I definitely want dead. How do I get out of here? What the fuck? How did I drop down here? Now I don't know how to get out. That a little clumsy, which makes sense. But I want this guy dead. Please die. Thank you. Okay. Once there's one guy left, I think another wave spawns. Yeah, but these ones are honor guards, which will fuck me up. Because I can't headshot them. Oh my god! Oh yeah, I did not expect that guy to be there so quick. Oh. Hey buddy. Thank you for 4 plasma grenades. Holy shit. That guy was loaded. Thank you very much, kind sir. Yeah, honor guards are a bit of a pain because I can't headshot them, obviously. But I can do this at least. And that guy will be basically dead after I blast him with guns and a grenade. Now let's get our rewards. I'm missing a grenade, but grenades aren't super useful against Tartarus anyways, so it's not a big deal. I think that's everything off the top of my head. I mean, there's a lot of cool things in the boss fight, but like, here's a weird fact. This door never opens, and I don't believe this door actually leads anywhere. There's like, it's a solid wall behind there, but weirdly enough, the other hallway does line up with this. Like, almost perfectly. It just ends. There's just, like, a thin layer of, like, wall between this door and the hallway. That's, like... But I'm pretty sure, other than that, like... It is a symmetrical area. Like, it's all lined up perfectly. And I love this cutscene, too. But, I'd rather wait till I do, like, I don't know, like an original Xbox playthrough or something. It's a good cutscene. And yeah, you get a ton of dudes here. This boss fight has so many things going on with it. Like, hey, look, it's Johnson. He has a beam rifle I can't take from him. I mean, I have one right now, but even if I didn't, you couldn't take it. Because his beam rifle is special. In that his beam rifle is not usable for a player. It's a completely separate beam rifle, where literally the only difference is it's not usable by the player. That's it. It's the only difference. Some people think that his beam rifle can take down Tartarus' shields and other ones can't. That is not true. If I have a beam rifle here specifically because you can use it to take out his shields. Whoa! Hey, Monitor, how's it going? That was an interesting interaction. He, like, came over because Tartarus knocked a crate nearby. Like, scared him. You got Miranda over there without a gun and the Monitor just hanging out with her. But I'll show you what I mean.
We'll shut them down.
See, the problem is, if you shoot it too fast, it'll overheat.
Then how do I stop it?
That's kind of the trick. You have, Johnson fire is like perfectly fast enough. Also, sometimes it does that where
Johnson, I'm on.
Hang tight, ma'am. Not until that fruit is dead.
Johnson just shoots it really well timed, but you can take it out yourself. It's actually generally a bad idea to do that because it's just kind of hard. And yeah, Tartarus is one of the, I think I mentioned this when I was talking about Zealots in another video, but Tartarus is one of the few things in this game that in the Xbox version he could jump at you. And for some reason it's been broken in every other version of the game. He can jump over objects and stuff, but he cannot jump like just to like leap at you, like say a Chieftain Cannon 3 or a Zealot Cannon 1.
You're telling me you can't stop the sequence.
Reclaimer, please understand. Interrupting the wave generation process will severely damage this installation.
Give me a direct answer.
I am but a monitor. Reclaimer can do what it likes.
So if you've only ever played the Xbox version, once again, that dialogue we just heard is new. It's not new, but that dialogue does not play like that in the Xbox version. You only hear Guilty Spark mention the secondary generators. All of the stuff after that is, like, it actually does exist on Xbox, but it's dummied out. So, like, at some point, they had that dialogue and then they got rid of it. Which is another case of, I think it's, another sign that likely the reason why there's so many weird things is because probably, just like with Halo 1, the version of Halo 2 that got ported to Vista originally was probably an earlier release
The installation is ready to fire. Starting final countdown.
that was given to them by Bungie instead of the final one. Or, on the off chance, it is even possible that perhaps this is a later release that broke stuff. But just because it was just like a later release and they just accidentally broke some stuff. So, once again, I've mentioned this in any of my videos, but since we're here, I want to talk about this. Tartarus is set up so that he cannot be damaged by anything that isn't a player. No matter how many times the elites shoot him, they will never kill him, because they do 0 damage to him. However, in order for Johnson to actually damage him, Johnson is considered on the player's team specifically, so even if you, like, betray the elites and make them hostile towards you, Johnson doesn't give a shit. He's Johnson's got your back. He's always your homie, as they say. But because that's so he can actually do damage.
Hey, Mohawk, how'd that feel?
And the funny thing about that is, once again, like I mentioned, Tartarus is set up so that beam rifles damage his shields, but they're not supposed to be able to damage his health at all. That's like a fact. However, as I showed off in my, I don't even remember, I think it's specifically, the video is called, the Fear Rod gun typo or something like that. And it basically shows up that because even though Tartarus can't be damaged by the beam rifle, his hammer can be damaged, and it doesn't take into account his armor type. It's like, I don't remember exactly how it works, but either the hammer is uses its own armor type, or the hammer might just be that it's like bugged and just assumes everything is default 1 and doesn't take any damage into account at all. So it's always just normal damage no matter what shoots his hammer. And because of that, one way you can win this boss fight is to basically just immediately run away and just sit around for it takes a while, but Johnson will just kill him. Which is why a fantastic speedrunner trick for this is to just get over here with a Spectre, and then you can use another, this isn't a glitch, but just like a quirk regarding how, I guess it is a glitch, but it's not a glitch in the way that you would expect, where if you can get a Spectre here, and Johnson will actually get into it, and then the game has a failsafe where if Johnson isn't standing there shooting, right, if he's in the vehicle, the game's like, where's Johnson? He's not there. Because it gets confused because he's not just in a natural state. So the game will actually spawn in another Johnson after a little while. And then, whatchamacallit, obviously that new Johnson can then also get into the Spectre. And so you can have up to 4 Johnsons shooting at Tartarus, and they'll actually kill him pretty fucking fast. I should see if I can get onto one of these lifts and get back up, because Tartarus has some good quotes. If you if you run away basically and let Johnson yeah. Tartarus will actually taunt you, but it's funny because this is the best way to deal with him, because Johnson will just kill him eventually. Johnson's also a special biped. He and Miranda, well, Miranda's actually the same as always, but he's a special biped that is basically the same as normal Marines, but he's super heavy, so you can push him, but it's very impractical to do that. Johnson also tends to not like to shoot at him sometimes. I'm not sure what causes this. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, let me see something here. Did you notice how, like, I shot him 3 times and his shields didn't go down? But then they do. I forgot about this, right. So that's probably why some people think that it doesn't work if you shoot him. Because Charters actually has like a little special thing where if you're hanging around too far away from him, his shields will not go down. Even if Johnson, I think even if Johnson shoots, I think Johnson specifically doesn't shoot at him if he's too far away, if you're too far away. Which is like a funny little thing. It's like they actually thought of that and didn't want the fight to just be automatic. But like if they just fixed that little quirk, it wouldn't be a problem. You also, you know, one other difference that's different from, you know, difficulties based on the difficulties that Legendary has more reinforcements and Heroic also has more reinforcements. Like you get 3 sets on Legendary, 2 on normal, and then 1 on, or I guess 2 on Heroic and then 1 on normal. And also they just punched me. That's a shame. But I'm not trying very hard because there's just so much to talk about in this fight, and it's not a big deal because it's such an easy fight, to be honest. Like, I believe, even though those guys have flags, I believe they're actually set up to spawn in as majors. Or rather, they're spawned in as captains, but internally they're actually majors. It's just they look like captains. For some reason, that's a thing they did. Also, Tartarus' hammer is one of the very few things in this game that does EMP damage. So that's why even on easy difficulty, if you're standing right next to him, he kills you.
We'll shut them
Elites
down.
can't damage him, but they can make him flinch, which is nice. Oh, come on! Johnson, what are you doing? That's why these guys die super easily. Because they're majors, so they have way less health than like regular brutes. Because, you know, for some reason, like I said, majors are really weak in the game. And sometimes you actually get with a... Oh, that's not him. I thought that was like a beam rifle guy. I think sometimes you get an elite with a beam rifle. Actually, don't quote me on that one. You also can get one with dual needles who will sometimes just stand near Johnson and just pelt Tartarus, and like needles make him flinch, so he'll just get stun locked, which is actually like fantastic.
We'll shut them down. Then how
But
do
yeah, dual plasma rifles are the fastest way to kill Tartars. They do the most damage per second.
quit stalling?
They shred him pretty fast. And yeah, like everything else in this game, Tartarus has more health on Legendary. His health is actually handled very specially, because like, he uses a bunch of like special scripting to handle it. And also, do you realize how I just died? That counselor jumped down and just blocked my fucking ass. Because he jumped down and immediately berserked, which made him just completely block me. Because he's a little shit. What a freaking jerk. Also, Tartarus is one of the I think, the only things in this game that he can see through your camouflage. Even if I go camo, Tartarus will see me. Also, what the hell was that? Apparently something about what I was doing there made the active camouflage stuff freak the fuck out. Did you see that? The FOV of my arms went crazy, and sometimes it wasn't even there. That was weird.
That's it? Johnson, I'm on it.
Hang tight, ma'am. Not until that brute is dead.
Johnson also has magic vision. I think they're specifically given like magic vision or whatever it's called, so he can always see them. Tartarus, I'm not sure how it works. I don't think he can always see you, but that he's like, he can see through your camouflage, I know at least. That might be the same thing, but I'm not sure, because it's definitely possible to be standing in a spot where Tartarus like doesn't know where you are.
Lucky hit. You will not land another.
All systems
Bro, that was a terrible shot. What are you doing?
You're telling me you can't stop the sequence?
trainer, please understand. Interrupting the waste generation process.
This is honestly the trickiest part of the entire fight is these reinforcements, because, wow.
I am
Because they're savants and will just lob a hardball at you from halfway across the map and stick you perfectly. God damn it. I am not doing so hot. This isn't a hard boss fight if you take your time, but if you want to be fast, then it is something at least. Oops. Yeah, that's the trick. If you're doing the beam rifle thing, you cannot just rapid fire it. It will... Also, like everything else, not only is he tougher on Legendary and his shields are stronger, but he also recharges them faster on Legendary, which is unique for him. He's, I think, the only thing in the game that has that.
Quick solid. That's it. Johnson, I'm on it.
Hang tight, ma'am. Not until that brute is dead.
Yes! What are you doing, Johnson? What was that? Just, like, completely shot to, like, the sky. Don't do it. Get out of here. This is actually the best thing to use the beam rifle for, is just to quick snipe these guys like that. That's pretty good. There's also 2 carbines here for some reason, but they don't have any ammo in them, so you can't pick them up. It's like a weird thing. I'm not sure what's the deal with that.
You can't stop the sequence.
trainer, please understand. Interrupting the waste generation process will severely damage the system.
Give me a direct answer.
I am but a hospital. The reclaimer can do what it likes.
I think shotgun is also like one of the best DPS options, but it's, obviously if you're using a shotgun, you have to be close enough to actually shoot him with it. Oh, Miranda jumped down. What? That's wild. One of the birds must have thrown a grenade at her. If they, even though she doesn't really move, if someone throws a grenade at her, it'll make her freak out like any enemy would, and she might run off and fall on here. If any of them fall off, they'll teleport back up eventually. But that's kind of cool, because that's actually like the best way to do this, because she's super heavy and invincible, so TARDIS will just hit her all day. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to find my plasma rifle. If you shoot TARDIS, you can make him, like, lose interest in you, obviously. But even when the other brutes come down here, they'll start being like, oh shit, look at Miranda. This is such a Halo way to win this fight, but yeah. Let's pelt these guys. They're not as scary with Miranda there, but I'd rather, not let them come down and blast me with a brute shot or just like a random nade. I actually got elite reinforcements. I forget what the reinforcements get. I think your elite reinforcements don't ever end, technically, but it does get to the point where they spawn very infrequently. And the brute reinforcements, I think, are also limited, but I think they're the opposite, where they do have a limit, but they spawn at, like, certain, like, predetermined points. But yeah, like, look at this. This is dumb. By the way, if you don't know, like many things, TARDIS has special invincibility to his hammer. Because if you've ever watched one of Game Cheat 13's videos, that's a fun guy. He does a bunch of like AI videos where he like pits AI up against each other in like specially made scenarios, which is really cool. He hasn't really done much lately because he's been doing other things, but he did a bunch back in the day, and he has one where he has TARDIS against like Spec Ops elites. And people pointing out, or no, it was TARDIS versus Hunters. And people were pointing out in that video, some people pointed out in that video that a lot of TARDIS' deaths were from him killing himself. Because his hammer, he didn't have the shield in that video, so he would actually just kill himself. Also, we got the weird interaction where I stuck the brute and his reaction was to try to punch something for some reason. That's like a weird thing. I'm not sure what caused that. It might be that he like tries to punch the grenade for some reason. I can't imagine why, because that's not normally a thing they would do, but like, who knows. Right now I'm in a bit of a sticky situation because Tartarus can't actually be shot by where he is, so I kind of just have to wait for him to do something. Hopefully, though, the elites will get him out of the way or something. There you go. Okay, let's... What I could have... Here's a weird strat. Throw a grenade at Miranda so she runs away. I'm a genius, let me tell you that. You think anyone else would have thought to do that? Probably, but that's... Only, like, good players know that that's even a thing that'll work. And this should be pretty much it. Yep, he's dead.
What are you doing? Check your targets.
And yeah, that's it. That's Halo 2. Tartarus is probably the easiest boss fight in the game, although he's mostly easy just because like there's a million ways to cheese him. If you try to fight him normally, he's still like I would argue he's actually one of the funnier boss fights because of that. Because fighting him normally is like actually feasible. Whereas with like Regret, it's like, well, that's not true. Regret's a fun fight if it weren't for the dual wielding elites. The Heretic Leader is arguably the worst one because it's just a bunch of dudes dueling plasma rifles at Q in the blink of an eye. I was trying to think. One other way this level is buggy is that right before the cutscene where Johnson gets into the Scarab and like you talk to him there, that part's really buggy in the sense like it is very liable that something can go wrong and the cutscene will never trigger because like if you're running through areas too fast, it's possible that a projectile might get frozen in a loading zone, and then because there's a projectile, the game's like, oh, the area's not safe because the cutscene won't start until there's like everyone's like until it's like safe. So if there's a projectile frozen in another loading zone, then the game knows that it's there and will be like, oh well, it's not safe. By the way, here's a fun fact. This cutscene isn't skippable because it's the epilogue. And if you look in the script for this level, you can see the message where it's made unskippable, and there's like literally a message that's like, ha 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 ha, take that, you epilogue skipping assholes, or something like that. It's something to that degree because of course it is. But yeah, that'll be it for Halo 2 Legendaries. I'll do another run of this at some point. Or I'll just do it on easy or normal or something. I'm gonna do it on the original Xbox version someday. It might not be anytime soon. It probably won't be, but I will. Anyways, yeah. See you guys later.
Finishing